Okay, so in the past days we have been learning different topics as I mentioned, but do you remember what we talked in our previous lesson, Edgar? Can you please explain Alicia a little bit?
Sure. Well, probably the 3 weeks uh, before we'll learn topics related with modifiers. We use adjective uh, to compare only two things. Um, and we have different kind of comparative adjectives. So the first kind of comparative adjectives are short. Then we have a long adjectives, and finally we have uh, how can I say that irregular. I
Irregular,
don't
okay.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember very well, but yeah, just have three regular adjective, which are bad, good, and far. So yeah, probably we cover this topic
Okay,
uh, in the class before.
okay, thank you so much, Edgar. Well, as Edgar mentioned, Alicia, we have been learning about adjectives, comparative adjectives. Do you know this topic, Alicia? Adjetivos comparativos.
Uh, Maybe when use the the most beautiful or the grandest.
Okay, for example, in Spanish we can say el más grande, el más limpio, the bigger, cleaner, safer. Okay, some these kind of verbs. Sorry, adjectives.
Okay, okay.
Okay, that just was a review, un repaso. Y lo podemos.
Uh, okay.
Yes. Okay, you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so in the last class we talked about phone calls. Do you remember that?
Sure, absolutely. Also, we have I forgot that part. Uh, the last class we check phrasal verbs with phone conversation. When we use that kind of phrasal verbs, useful, yeah, that kind of phrasal verbs during
Okay,
the call.
okay, excellent, Edgar. Okay, we learned some expression, as Edgar mentioned, about making phone calls. Okay, different expressions that you can use when making phone calls. In this case, for example, in Spanish we can say colgar, cortar, hacer una llamada, poner en espera, entre otros. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about. Give me a sec, please. Social media. Okay, what can you tell me about social media, Alicia?
I don't know. The social media.
Yes. What do you understand with social media?
Mm, Maybe Facebook.
Yes, Facebook is a social media. Okay. And Edgar, what do you understand for social media?
Probably this is a new way of life for teenagers and also kind of adults to to make connections or yes hang out with with postage or info, or just enjoy with that kind of platform. As Alicia mentioned, uh, the most common platform probably ones are, well, Facebook, and also nowadays the king of these platforms. I'm not sure if it's right now, or it will be uh, in the future, but I think right now it's TikTok, the most common and the stronger social media for, at least here in Mexico City. I don't know. Well, talk about it in Mexico, because I don't know if in other uh, parts of the world uh, works the same. For example, I think uh, TikTok in United States was forbidden because this software was created by Chinese people. So I'm not sure, but I think in the United States it's not allowed.
Okay, thank you, Edgar. Well, as you mentioned, we use social media to stay in touch with different people from family, friends, people from work, etc. And as you mentioned, we have different social media, for example, Facebook, you mentioned, and TikTok. And the thing that you mentioned that TikTok is forbidden in the United States, it's something that I read a long time ago. But I think it was only forbidden when Donald Trump was the president of that country. I think nowadays it's allowed to use it, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, probably you are right, because yeah, sounds makes sense. Yeah, probably you are right.
Okay, okay, I think okay. Thank you, Edgar. Okay, Alicia, do you use TikTok?
No.
No. Okay,
Uh,
but have you seen some videos from TikTok?
yes, in Facebook, I see videos. Normally, the people send the videos, but I don't have a account in TikTok.
Okay, I understand. Let's okay. Let's. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, here we have some questions. Well, the first one says, describe the picture. What social media companies can you see in the picture? Alicia?
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Android, Dropbox. I don't remember the name, but the circle, the green circle, and with the gal, a phone.
This one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
think is as it is same to Messenger, but the Google.
okay.
I don't remember the name.
Okay.
Windows, Skype, uh, Apple, uh, uh, um, I don't know.
Okay, that's good, Alicia. Okay, as you mentioned, here we have different types of social media, and some social media specifies on different things. For example, what do we use Instagram for? ¿Para qué utilizamos Instagram? Alicia?
Uh, I use Instagram when I uh, uh, yes, attach the photos, different photos. Yes.
Okay, for posting pictures. Okay, thank you, Alicia.
Okay.
Okay, and Edgar, can you mention any other social media that Alicia didn't mention, please?
I thought Alicia mentioned everything.
Okay,
I mean, Dropbox, Wikipedia, Skype, uh, Chrome, Drive, uh, Pinterest. Yeah.
okay,
Well, the signal of Wi-Fi. Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Edgar.
Thank-
Do you use Pinterest?
Uh, I was probably two. No, more than two. Yeah. Let me see. 5 years ago, uh, I used to to play that kind of social media platform because at that moment I remember very well that the the data was really interesting. And for example, I remember that topics related with engineering architecture was really amazing. So that's why at the moment just uh, did this app. But nowadays, I don't know what happened because the content was really bad. So uh, today I didn't use it anymore.
Okay, thank you, Edgar. Well, as you mentioned in the past, Pinterest used to be a very specific app where you can find specific pictures of, for example, as you mentioned, architecture. But nowadays, people started posting different things. For example, I have seen videos from TikTok on Pinterest, and I think that has changed everything because you cannot see what we used to see in the past. But
Yeah, you're right. Also, I think the the boom was because Pinterest didn't have any competitor at that moment. So in that period of time, Instagram didn't rise as nowadays we know. So yeah, it's totally a fail these days.
okay, I understand. Thank you, Edgar. Okay, so good morning, Benjamin. How are you?
Good morning, Jose. Sorry for today. Fine, fine. Thank you. How are you today?
Okay, don't worry, Benjamin. I'm fine, thank you. Okay, with your classmates, we're talking about social media. Okay, do you know what is social media, Benjamin?
Yes, like Facebook and WhatsApp or YouTube, any other social media.
Okay, so what do you think about social media, Benjamin?
I think the social media is a good tool for communication, for information, and for now know about the the world, the last not no the last information about the success in the around the world, and sometimes also for meet with new people um, for communication with my um, with us family, and and also for fun or um, and only that.
Okay, do you think it's necessary in this modern world?
Not this necessary, but these are good. tool.
Okay, excellent, Benjamin. Thank you. Well, and Alicia, do you think it's necessary social media in this modern world?
It's a difficult question. I think it's not necessary. Maybe because, for example, my father searched parents with don't see any time, and if he don't have a telephone normal, don't have communicate. If, for example, he communicate with your parent with the Facebook.
Okay, so as you mentioned, in this case, it was necessary for your father, right?
It's maybe it's necessary for communicate with other person when I, for example, I lost the communication for last time.
Okay, so that's a good point, Alicia. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue with Edgar. Please, have you ever stopped using a kind of social media? Why did you stop?
Yeah, I remember 6 years ago, I locked down my account in Facebook because I I I had a relationship with kind of troubles. So this person was really obsessed with my social media's apps. That's why I really locked down my account. Also, I think was not only Facebook, was Twitter. What else? Also Instagram. But yeah, probably was I stopped on the period of time, maybe 6 months. That's the reason that why I stopped using that social media at the moment.
Okay, so nowadays you have opened your accounts again,
Yeah,
right?
nowadays I have available.
Okay, excellent, Edgar. So, Benjamin, have you ever stopped using a kind of social media and why?
I use the social media WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. WhatsApp for the communication with my family, ¿cómo se decía? Compañeros de trabajo.
Colleagues?
Colleagues, with my colleagues, and Messenger for communication with my family and for watch some information about the new news about the success around the world and some fun um, and only that.
Okay, so have you ever stopped using a kind of social media? Question 4.
Have you ever stopped using the kind of social media that you stop? And no, I don't stop use a social media in specific. I use um, mm, uh, mm, the social media for little time, only for 5-10 minutes today. No, not is for use a lot of time in the day.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you, Benjamin. Okay, and Alicia, have you ever stopped using a kind of social media, and why did you stop?
No, I don't stop using. Maybe I using less, but I don't close.
Okay, okay, that's good. So, how many times a day do you check your social media, Alicia?
How many time or days?
Okay, how many times a day? ¿Cuántos
Okay.
días? ¿Cuántas veces al día?
I don't know. Maybe 10.
Okay, what is the most app that you use?
I think Facebook. Yeah, I sometimes I watch the videos in Facebook.
Okay, excellent, Alicia. Okay, so let's continue with Edgar. How many times a day do you check your social networking accounts?
Let me see. Right now, on my Facebook.
Yes.
I don't know if you know that we have a setting. You can check your time on the platform. My average per week. In my app, appears like 30 minutes per week. So it's not uh, a long time, I think.
Okay, Edgar, excellent, thank you. And Benjamin, how many times, well, a day you check your social media?
Mm, I don't know. Maybe only 2 or 3 times in the day, only for check if I have new message or new information important about my country, my region.
Okay, that's good. And also you mentioned that you use more WhatsApp and Messenger, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, excellent, Benjamin. Thank you. Okay, let's continue with Alicia. Question 5. What do you think the world would be like if there were no social media?
Mm, but I don't know. I think it depends of the person. Maybe for example, in the people, I don't know. How do you say personas mayores?
Oh, okay, older people.
Okay. Maybe the older people normally don't uh, don't use the cell phone or any yes computer and no use social medias apps.
Okay,
But I understand because don't learn use the dispositive.
okay, that's a good point. Okay, thank you, Alicia. Okay, Edgar, the same question. What do you think the world would be like if there were no social media apps?
Well, this is interesting question. But at the same time, Probably everyone will ask us this question, because nowadays social media, even when we have a lot of advantages it provides us, but probably social media, without social media, we will reduce our exposure of the amount of the bad fake news that's nowadays a harm for society. Also, have more damage for poor people. So, and also reduce our overall levels of anxiety, depressions, and fears. Because I think here in Mexico, it's not very common, that kind of psychology problems. But in other part of the world, uh, I think in developer countries, it's very common suicides in teenagers, uh, because the main problem of the cause of this suicides uh, is related with the use of social media. So yeah, it's um well, it's a complicated activity for the parents, because the duty is check, uh, um, understand, I don't know, supervisor the any kind of activity that the kids posted or use, or just watch on on their devices. So yeah, it's I think, in my personal opinion, that social media it's uh it's not useful as many people sell us.
Okay, you have a good point, Edgar. As you mentioned, here in Mexico, it's not very common to talk about this kind of psychological problems, but in different parts of the world, it's very common to talk about them. But I think in Mexico, there exist these types of problem. However, not many people talk about it. So
Right.
we don't have too much information related to this type of problems, we can say, but there exist. Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue with this following question. Question 7. What is something that bothers you about social media? Alicia?
Mm, uh, maybe um, that the all people have access in the social media, but I think it depends of the accounts to I I don't know. How do you say seguir?
Follow?
Yes, follow. Sorry. Yes, I think it depends that accounts I follow.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, it depends on the accounts you follow, because if you don't follow different accounts, you can only have, well, the information that you want, right?
Yes, yes, yes. For because I think I search the view that bad information or a good information. It depends.
Okay, that's good, Alicia. Thank you. And the same question for Benjamin. What is something that bothers you about social media?
Mm, okay, maybe with the social media, know about a lot of personal information about you. For example, Facebook, we talk with any other person about um, some things ¿cómo se dice inmediatamente?
Immediately?
Immediately, you watch in Facebook, uh, and es- hay anuncios, sponsors,
Okay, ads?
spon ad, ads, ads about these things, and only only thing that this is the bad the bad use the social methods about my information.
Okay. So you think that there is no privacy on social media, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin. So, Edgar, what do you think about what Benjamin mentioned? Do you think this the same?
Yeah, I think are running in the same way, but yeah, there are a huge uh, annoying or other things. For example, many selfies or that kind of people that every day posted what did they eat. Also, uh, probably when they go to the bathroom or something like that, posted everything. Yeah, it's totally for me unreasonable information. And also the problem that I told you before that make that kind of bullying, the trolling people. It's really common nowadays on social media, trolling people. Uh, as Benjamin says, the ads and pop-ups, it's a really headache. Um, what else? When you probably still watching a series, uh, the the social media spoilers your your series is really bad. The other thing that I was thinking about nowadays, I think it's not happen anymore, but 10 years ago, uh, especially older people send you invitation to play games, for example,
Yes.
Candy Crush or Farmville Villas. It was really annoying. Uh, and yeah, probably there are more than these problems that I told you, but uh, there are a lot of other things.
Okay, excellent, Edgar. So, okay, before we continue, can you join to the same link again, please? We are running out of time.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue. Well, Edgar was talking about the different things that he consider bothering from the social media. So, Edgar, how many times do you post things on social media?
I'm the person that probably is a vulgar people because I don't really use the social media to post it. The reason that I use that kind of apps is just to know about new things. But I'm not the kind of person that posts it really constantly or many times per month.
Yes. Okay, that's good. And as you mentioned, there are also people who usually post things every day, and they are constantly changing their profile picture and posting different things that they are doing. But it depends on the person, I think. So,
Right.
okay, thank you. Alicia, do you usually post things on Facebook, Instagram, etc.?
Yes, I share memes.
Okay, memes.
Yes, I share memes or I upload photos when I don't know. I think I upload photos when I do a funny activity or when I travel. Yeah, but normally I don't post every day or all time.
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you, Alicia. Benjamin, do you usually post things on social media?
No, I never post anything in social media.
Okay, why don't you post anything?
Mm, I think that not is necessary.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you, Benjamin. Um, okay, we have this question that says, what do you think some people have fake social media accounts? Question number 9, Edgar.
Well, that's the disadvantage of just this kind of social media because it's first of all very easy. Then it's super faster. Uh, mm, Probably talking about in general people,
Yes.
they don't want or they don't spend more time to verify or to cover with the more shapes of the topic. Just have or focus on the information that posted at that moment. They they keep in mind that information, and we don't know if it's really uh, fake or not. And that's the problem because many people believe, strongly believe that this is the absolutely true for for the information. And I always use that a specific example when Donald Trump made the presidential campaign was a, uh, uh, a massive fake news at the moment. So also, well, American people, they don't like read about anything anymore about politics. So yeah, in Mexico City, I think it's works the same. But the problem here in Mexico is many people don't access to internet, and also they don't have an account, or they don't know about the social media.
Yes, I think you're right. Okay, and we also believe everything that we see on the internet. Well, at least some people usually believe what they read. For example, on Facebook, they think that everything is true. But as you mentioned, not everyone is have this ability to access information. So that depends.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue. Okay, if I ask you, Alicia, how many friends do you have on Facebook? How many friends do you have?
How many friends?
Yes, or accounts you follow?
I don't know. Uh, 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 three. I don't remember the name. The numbers. Yes, 3,000.
Yeah.
Era 300, ¿verdad?
Yes, 300, 300.
Okay, sorry. 347.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, 300.
Friends.
Okay, so do you know all these people, or there are people that you don't know?
Yes, I think I know the all people, but for some friends, I don't frequency some friends. If in the moment I know, I don't know, in my English class or in my university or in my uh, preparatory, but yes, in the moment I know the person, but today some people don't communicate with 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 them.
Okay.
Yes.
So most of them you know them, but you don't have communication with them right now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Alicia. Benjamin, do you usually accept all people, or do you only have family and friends on your social media?
I only have two people in Facebook, my son and my wife,
Okay.
and I don't accept any other invitation for person.
Okay, so you have a very private account, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
only for communication as basic.
Okay, that's really nice. Okay, so you mentioned that you don't usually post anything on social media, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so you only have it for communication.
Yes.
Okay, that's good, Edgar. Thank you. And sorry, Benjamin. Edgar, do you usually accept all people, or you only have friends and family?
Well, I have a private account, and also I don't like accept, or yeah, I don't remember that. I think it's a phrasal verb to accept or the invitation on the social media, but I don't remember the 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 word.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I like staying on a private account. Also, uh, uh, all of my followers, I know most of them.
Okay, excellent. So you also have a private account. And we're gonna finish with this final question. Um, what do you think of influencers, Edgar?
Yeah, it's a joke. Um, well, um, it's another disadvantage of the monster of social media right now because many people believes talking about the fake news. If someone, some influencers say something about politics or religion, I don't know, behaviors or just a personal opinion, they the followers believes that it's totally true. Um, it's not right. It's a complete mistake. So I'm not really agree with that kind of new celebrities or yeah, influencers because they have right now have a lot of power and influence over the mindset of many teenagers. It's very dangerous.
Okay, so I agree with you with everything that you said. Okay, but it also depends on the people. The person I think there are good influencers that that make things for the best, for the better, okay, to help other people. But there are some influencers that only do it to gain followers and all that things.
Right. You're
Okay,
right.
okay, so I think, okay, let's continue with Alicia. What do you think of influencers, Alicia?
Mm, I think it depends on the content to make the influencer. But I think some influencer make a good content, but others no. And I affirm the it depends that accounts to follow.
Okay, that's good. Depends on the accounts you follow. Okay, thank you, Alicia. And finally, Benjamin, the same question. What do you think of influencers?
I think that is um, an unnecessary um, action for the social medias. Only, um, I think that not is not in persons necessary. Not don't have uh, ¿cómo podría decir? De provecho o algo.
And they don't do anything that benefits people.
Okay. Yes, not is benefit people in general. Only these people make things um, rare thing, anything that that thing that make to all another people follow follow us. Uh, and not but not this good people or people could make a good example for the children for the teenage for other people or for your followers.
Okay, excellent, Benjamin. Okay, guys, thank you. Well, before we finish, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Alicia, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, guys, so it's already 9 and 30 minutes and we finished. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, that will be it for today. Today we only practice our speaking skills, and we're going to continue learning more about this the next class. So is that okay for you?
It's okay, Jose.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Jose.
Okay, thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you
Bye.
in the
Thank
next
you,
class.
Jose.
Bye-bye.
See
Have a
you
nice
guys.
weekend.
Bye.
See you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.